As you've read in the newspaper, Representative Ron Lewis has declined our personal and our public invitations to be present and participate in tonight's forum. Leading up to this evening, we remained hopeful he would reconsider this decision. Unfortunately, that's not the case. With this said, the editorial board has chosen to continue with this portion of our forum this evening.
Should the U.S. Constitution be amended to prohibit burning the U.S. flag? Why or why not?
Ron, do you want to take that question first, or do you want me to?
In an online poll on the News Enterprise's website today, more than 60% of those who responded said a candidate's appearance or performance at political forums affects their votes, and half said it affects their votes a lot. How important do you think forums such as this one are in helping people decide which candidate to vote for?
I think forums like this are the only way that people who are deciding which way they want to vote can make a good judgment. I think when you see us standing up here side by side answering questions without a script, it tells you something about our character, it tells you something about our leadership ability, it tells you something about how we react under pressure, and I believe what you see here today on how we react to this tells you how we'll react under pressure when we have to make decisions of vital importance to this nation. I think they are extremely important, and I am terribly disappointed that we're not standing here side by side, where Ron has the same opportunity that I do to look you right in the eye and tell you what I think about any issue, and tell you what I think about any issue on a moment's notice. You ask me a question, and you give me 2 minutes to answer it. I have to come to the podium, form my thoughts, and do that in about 2 seconds, and then start talking to you, and do it in a coherent way, where you can make a judgment whether I have answered the question or not. I think that's what these debates do, and I think it is a shame that instead of doing it this way, my opponent has decided that he will take the millions of dollars that he has and put them in 30-second commercials where he doesn't have to appear before a camera himself. He can stand behind a script, read it without anybody ever seeing his face, and say anything he wants to say, and most of what he says is about me. I want you to look at me today, and I want you to determine who I am and what I stand for. And you don't have to do it in a 30-second commercial. You can do it right here. I think this has a tremendous amount of value, and I think it has an impact on every voter who watches a debate. I think they are extremely important, and I thank you for giving us the opportunity to do it.
Please tell us the true story about the National Guard incident that Ron Lewis is running his television ads on.
Ron, I am so happy that you gave me the opportunity to ask that question, even though you decided not to be here. What I have here in my hand is a 30-page report concerning the 1992 Selective Retention Board. It was the document is dated 24 October 2002. It is from the Chief of Staff of the Chief of the National Guard Bureau, and it's to the Undersecretary of the Army. And I would just turn with you to page 23. This is available for anybody who wants to read it. It's been available long before Ron Lewis came up with his commercials. But on page 23, there's a paragraph that starts out, Colonel John M. Weaver. That's me. You know me by Mike, but that's me. And the way it reads, it says, a difficult truth for applicants to overcome was the non-political role of the regular Army officer who served on the 1992 Selective Retention Board. As previously noted, within the board, each of the votes for non-retention was unanimous, and while applicants may argue that one or both of the other two members were improperly influenced by political matters, no such accusation can be made concerning Colonel Weaver, who took no part in the fundraising or other political activities. It is equally clear that he took his took seriously his responsibilities as senior Army advisor to assist the Kentucky National Guard in maintaining the best possible officer corps. That's what the board was about. The fact that he found good and valid non-political reasons, each of which can be readily ascertained comparing those officers who were not retained and those who were, would certainly end the discussion. His role as an honest broker in the process, which it was determined that each of the applicants lacked the requisite potential for further service, posed an enormous challenge to their claim of victimization, and it goes on. That was quick. I will conclude what I didn't have enough time to do. And the last paragraphs here on the report that I was showing you, it being obvious that Colonel Weaver had no role in the 1991 fundraiser scheme or other political matters, applicants settled on a charge of prejudice in order to call in question the integrity of this decent and honorable officer. Now, Ron Lewis has allowed one of the 15 an opportunity to reopen this case using his political campaign, and that's not what political campaigns are about. I was angry about this at first, but I'm not angry about it anymore. I'm just plain disappointed. I'm disappointed that my congressman and yours will do anything to keep his job, to include misinformation, half-truths, and lies, and will hide behind a 30-second commercial to tell a completely bogus story that was over 14 years ago, does not need to be revived now. And when you go to the polls and vote, judge me for who I am. Judge me.